Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're looking at a piece of kit that answers a really interesting question. Uh, what do you do when you have perfectly good legacy tech, but you need it to work on a modern scale?
Yeah, we're talking about the NTI VOPEX-C5V-8C.
Yeah.
And it's that classic problem, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but for video distribution.
Exactly. Because everyone's focused on HDMI, DisplayPort, but the reality is places like airports, factories, even big movie theaters, they are sitting on a mountain of VGA equipment.
And the real challenge isn't just replacing it. It's how do you get one computer signal out to, say, 8 or even 16 different monitors without running these huge, thick VGA cables everywhere?
Which is just a nightmare for signal quality. Analog signals are so fragile over distance, you run a standard VGA cable maybe 50 feet, and you're already seeing, what, ghosting?
Oh, yeah. Ghosting, fuzziness. But this NTI system, it claims it can push that same signal up to 600 feet.
And the way it does that is, I think, the real story here. It's a system with a local broadcast unit that connects to your PC, but then it sends the signal out to these little remote units using standard CT5 cable.
It's such a brilliant infrastructure hack.
Yeah.
I mean, you're using the same network cable that's probably already in the walls of every single commercial building.
Right, so what was a specialized AV job suddenly becomes, well, basically a simple IT patching job.
Exactly. But you have to be realistic. I mean, we were talking about physics here. Pushing an analog signal over twisted poor cable, there's always going to be a trade-off.
Yeah, I saw that in the specs. It's a very clear trade-off between how far you go and the resolution you get.
Absolutely. So at a shorter distance, let's say 100 feet, you're getting 1920 by 1440, which is incredibly sharp for analog.
Super crisp, perfect for text, diagrams, that sort of thing. But when you stretch it all the way out to that maximum of 600 feet,
The resolution drops to 1024 by 768.
which, to someone playing games at home, that sounds ancient. But if you're running digital signs in an airport terminal,
It's totally fine. It gets the job done. If you're just displaying flight times or a menu, you just need it to be readable and reliable. You don't need 4K.
and it's not just the video, is it? They squeeze audio into that same signal.
CD quality audio too. We're talking a full 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz frequency response, which is crucial if you're driving self-powered speakers in a noisy place.
That makes sense. And speaking of the environment, that brings us to the build quality. This is not some plastic box.
Oh no, it's a rugged steel case. And NTI makes a big deal about the ESD immunity.
The electrostatic discharge, right? It meets that IEC 61042 standard. Why is that so important?
Well, think about a carpeted trade show floor or an airport. You have thousands of people walking around building up static. Without that kind of industrial-grade protection, you'd be frying the ports on those remote units all the time.
Ah, so it's the difference between something that works on a bench and something that actually works out in the real world. Now, there's one last detail in the documentation that I thought was the real make or break for an installer. It's about how you adjust the video quality.
You saw that too. This is where the specific model you buy really, really matters.
It does. If you get the video-only remote units, you have to adjust for the cable length manually. You're literally turning a tiny screw to get the picture sharp.
Which is miserable if you're standing 20 feet up on a ladder in the corner of a warehouse.
But, and this is the key, if you get the audio-video units, that adjustment is automatic.
And that automation saves hours of labor. The system just figures out the signal loss over the CT5 and compensates for it. It turns a calibration nightmare into plug and play.
That one feature probably pays for the price difference on the first job. It's a great reminder that the most important feature isn't always the highest resolution, but, how much time it saves the technician.
Precisely. It keeps that legacy tech working without all the legacy maintenance headaches.
A great lesson in choosing the right tool for the job. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the nuts and bolts of display infrastructure.
Always a pleasure.
See you next time.